Good afternoon and welcome to the May 18th, 2022 Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting. We'll start with a roll call and call to order. Request the confirmation of coma. Thank you. Roll call, starting down there.
Richard Phil.
Matthew Smith.
Gabe Grant.
Melanie Hedgepath.
Thank you. We've got one guest listed to introduce.
Yes, we have Darren Morowitz, who's the Director of Education for the Salina Arts Center. I had asked him to come today to just go over some of the relationships we've made about ceramics and summer art. And
Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon. Just give you a short little rundown. We had a really successful ceramics program this spring. We had 8 ceramics classes or events overall this spring. And then altogether we had 45 patrons participate in those 8 classes and various ceramic events, from 8-year-olds all the way up to various adults. And then we've also had an open studio program where people pay just $25 a month and they come use any equipment we have. So the throwing wheels for ceramics are a hot item. So we have like 6 people who come in pretty regularly to use those. And then we also developed a partnership with KWU. They donated some ceramics equipment as well. So they decided they'd want to do a ceramics class. So they provided the teacher, and then I think they had about 18 students for a very short 8-week class. Yeah, and then for this summer, we are going to do just a dedicated wheel throwing class because that's been very sought after. And then a hand building ceramics class that doesn't have the wheels. Yeah, it's been very popular and we get lots of questions and inquiries about it all the time. So, yeah.
Very good.
so if you recall, the city made a donation to the to the Salina Arts Center for that ceramics equipment, and I wanted Darren to kind of give an update about how successful they were using that ceramics equipment.
Great.
And the pictures there, just kind of the setup of the wheels that we have in the back, and the shelves that are always full of ceramics. I can't fire the kiln fast enough sometimes. And then just another picture of some patrons using the wheels.
Very good. Questions from anybody? Thanks for the partnership.
Yes,
Very good.
thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Moving on to item 3, Citizens Forum. Anyone here? Seeing none. Move on to item 4, approval of the agenda. Is there a motion?
Almost
Motion
from-
to approve.
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Minutes are in your packet from the April 20th, 2022 Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting. Also provided by email. If there are no additions or corrections, I take a motion to approve those.
I'll motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you. In a second.
Second.
Thanks. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Activity reports.
I wanted to go through a couple highlighted items, and if I would also let you know that staff might also add some additional information based on the notes I cover or the activity reports I cover, or maybe I don't cover. At the Parks office at Oakdale, Evergy installed a new light and pole at the entrance to Oakdale Park. As you are aware, the advisory board did have a presentation from us about closing off or restricting access to that road at Oakdale Park because of the amount of speed, the high rate of speed people are driving through that area. So we're pursuing that, and that's one part of that puzzle, was to include a light at the entrance of Oakdale. Our City of Salina wastewater department, we pumped out about 500,000 gallons of water out of Jerry Ivy, and we then put water back in from the well that we have there in an attempt to try to alleviate some blue-green algae concerns. We also relocated some ducks that were kind of made that a home. Those ducks were domesticated ducks. They did not leave. We found a new home for them one in Topeka. And they found permanent homes at that area. There was a group of concerned citizens that felt the ducks, with the fact that there was bacteria in the water that caused blue-green algae, that the ducks were possibly exposed to that. So they wanted to make an effort to relocate them, and we went ahead and did that. One of your pictures in your packets is of vandalism at Sunset Park. The War Memorial sign was hit by a vehicle of some kind that drove through the War Memorial. One of your items under new business is, I'll wait for that. I'll wait till new business. Animal shelter doing some trap and release. So for your information, they have what we call a TNR program, so a trap, neuter, release, or a trap, spay, and release. So when we have a large cat population, we try to capture them and neuter or spay them and then release them back. Special events, April 16th, we had the Easter egg hunt at Berkeley Family Recreational Area. Last month, the advisory board asked about hiring at Kenwood Cove for part-time staff. And I mentioned at the time, some of you were concerned about the numbers of staff that we had hired at the time. As of May 11th, we have 47 lifeguards hired, and I think Andrea wanted to give an update today about that.
Yeah, we just have started, we've lost some to other jobs over the last week, as well as gained a few more that have turned in applications. So, and we are actually in the process right now of doing the pre-skills to make sure swimming is strong enough before they start taking certification classes on Friday. So we'll have a better idea of numbers as we go, but right now, we're just working on making sure the skills are strong enough.
One item of note, Andrea also achieved a certification this past week, or 2 weeks ago, of a lifeguard instructor trainer. So she has the ability to now train instructors to help her teach the large quantity of lifeguards that we have. And it's a very difficult certification, and she did earn that. Do you want to give an update about filling water? What's full, what's not full?
The only thing that is not full at this point is the kiddie pool. Everything else is full. We've had a few little hiccups with just pumps and motors around the park, but we are working on those. It's usually, that's normal. There's always a couple little hiccups. But other than that, everything, the lazy river is flowing. We're making sure chemicals are getting balanced and the water is starting to warm up. So I believe today the lap pool hit 82 degrees, which feels very, very nice. So.
Fieldhouse athletics, the highlight I wanted to share, many outdoor activities, tournaments, and I can let Travis talk about this a little more if you want one.
Yeah, April's pretty busy for us. We had a full month of outdoor tournaments. I think 120 plus teams is what I counted. So staff is really busy with that. And we do have, I wanted to note a Dean Evans update. I don't think I put it in there, but we are getting to the end of that project, just doing some punch list items. The last 3 items were the storage cage underneath the stadium that is installed, and restroom updates. Those were installed with a ticket booth out front. So we're just kind of getting towards the end of punch list items.
Very good.
Yeah, I wanted to update staff as well. Last month, we were all sitting in kind of a doom and gloom. I think it's looking better. Not quite what we want, but I think we're in a better spot than we were last year at the same time. I was talking with Jeff about this. I think I can give you some specific numbers come next meeting on actually how many baseball, softball umpires, that type of thing. We're just waiting on a lot of PAS to do it. And we start meeting next week, so get a gradual start. We're in a little better spot than we were last year.
Rick, do you have anything to add? Anything you wanted to add?
We're still 2 employees, full-time employees short on forestry. We've got some applications. A lot of them don't quite meet what we need or what we're looking for as far as forester staff, but we're still looking. Seasonal staff, we're just about the same position. It's extremely difficult to get anybody to apply. I don't know what else to say about that. We're attempting everything. I'm going to get with Tony's Pizza Event Center, see if I can put something up on the big marquee out on Ohio and see if that draws any interest. I would have thought that with school getting out that we'd start getting a few more applicants and applications flowing in, but it's not happening. So we're still working on it. And we're full swing. We got our first order or delivery of flowers. I think a little over 100 flats delivered today. And of course, it rained about an inch last night. So all of the landscape beds that were tilled up are now mud. So that's going to put us behind a few days, maybe into next week. We're supposed to get a few more deliveries. And again, it hurts us without having seasonal staff. We kind of rely on seasonal staff to get, we get anywhere from 14,000 to 16,000 flowers. So, well, if you guys have some spare time, you want to come over, I'd be glad to entertain that. You're not nodding your head, yes. But anyway, so we're proceeding with that, but everything else is going fairly well. We're behind on a few seasonal mowing staff. Part of that's just due to some health reasons on some staff. We're trying to stay caught up. Of course, every time we kind of get caught up, Mother Nature rains on us, and then we start all over. So that's kind of where we are on all that.
We back to like pre-COVID position counts and all of that? Like
For full-time staff?
seasonal and full-time staff?
Full-time staff, I think we're
Not necessarily what's hired, but what's like budgeted and open, I guess.
yeah, we really haven't changed budgets or lowered, I'm sorry, I now understand what you're saying. Yes.
Okay.
We, budget-wise, what we are able to fill in 2019, we have a similar budget for 2022.
Because it was spring of 2020 that the city didn't hire like seasonal mowers and all those
Correct.
types of things.
Right. Full-time staff were mowing. We didn't open the water park.
Right.
We did not offer Fieldhouse camp.
Okay.
The few part-time positions we did hire were, I believe, at golf, because it was open.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the struggles, if you don't mind, one of the struggles we're having with, I know there's one landscape company that is offering a signing bonus basically to hire people, and they're also offering existing staff a bonus for referrals. So it's a little bit difficult for us to compete against all that.
Any other comments, questions from staff or board members?
I've only got one. It's kind of like a safety there at Jerry Ivy Park on the water park there. How long has it been since people do belly flops out there and get hurt?
And you're referring to the splash pad
Yeah,
at Jerry Ivy?
yeah,
People doing belly flops?
yeah.
Did you see someone doing belly flop?
I've seen 4 or 5 kids that were doing it one day. took my grandson over there just to, get himself wet a little bit. And these kids, they were just belly flopping right on the water.
That's new to me.
One even hurt his mouth, like, what the heck are you
Well,
doing, kid?
Yeah.
No, that's-
The surfacing of that, sorry, the surfacing of that splash pad is, it's, I don't remember the name of it, however, it has an aggregate in it, and I would be surprised they didn't have a pretty good abrasion if they were sliding across that surface. It's a slip-resistant surface. It's designed to be slip-resistant.
That's what I kind of thought, because I see them, and I kind of rolled my foot up because I said, I can't even move my foot. How are they moving? But it was,
Right.
I seen this one kid, he got up and his holding his mouth.
Oh, so he did get hurt. But if we did see that kind of behavior, I imagine we'd, deemed it unsafe and
Yeah.
I'd
We would
have
have a conversation as
have
to
a
what would
conversation.
happen if it was witnessed, but yeah.
I mean, a few
I've
minutes
never
later,
seen
him and his parent, whoever it was, they were gone. But, it's just kind of curiosity out there.
I will take a look at the rules that we have sitting out there and see if I need to update any of them. So at least it's posted.
Yeah.
Don't try to hurt yourself. I don't know what that rule would be, but
Well,
common sense.
but it just but make sure that everything is covered that needs to be.
Very good. Any other activity report questions or comments? The maintenance numbers and spring spruce up photos were part of activity reports, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I know I was downtown helping with the project there. Lots of good things happening on spring spruce up weekend, so. New business, got a new deputy parks and recreation director.
Yes. Brett Lamer was promoted to the position of Deputy Parks and Recreation Director. Brett has been with the city of Salina for approximately 13 years through our park staff. I can let him go through the roles that he were filled, but wanted to recognize him in front of the board that he's been in his position now 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
And so you'll see him at this meeting frequently. And but I'll let Brett go into a little detail about if he wishes.
I can. I started, if you count my seasonal part-time, in 2011, and 11 and 12, left in 12 and got a full-time job in Garden City, and then came back in 13, so I was only gone for about 9 months, and started as a park tech, basically. It wasn't called that at the time, but it is now. So park tech, was that for, I think, 4 years. Then for a short period of time, I was a landscape supervisor for about 2 months is all. I was an interim for a little bit, I guess, but officially 2 months, and then was able to become the park ops manager, also known as like city forester, and I was that for the last 5 years, and then was able to become deputy director after that. So as Rick was talking about being short the 2 people, I actually would argue that they're short 3, because that position was kind of an important role for the forestry department. So there's literally 0 in forestry right now there. So I'm trying to help and continue to do a lot of the stuff that I did, but time is harder to come by. So it makes the last 2.5 weeks go by really, really fast. But no, it's been fun so far, and hope to be here for quite a while. So
Welcome. Congratulations.
appreciate that.
Old business, Fieldhouse camp update.
Go for it, Trav.
Sure, I can take that. Before, we do have a guy I wanted to introduce. His name is Irving. He's sitting behind me. Oh, he's back there now. So,
Hear me now? Okay. Irving is Fort Hays grad just recently, and through that does an internship, and we have hired some interns throughout the years, and Irving came to me, I think, in the spring, and kind of did some late spring stuff and going into the summer, And he's worked soccer so far. Fieldhouse helped us a lot, answering phone, whatever it takes. And just wanted to introduce him back here. He'll be on board here for the remainder of the summer. And his job is to take notes and provide for his interns. So, but I just wanted to introduce him.
Welcome.
Fieldhouse Summer Camp, I did provide in the packet it was pretty doom and gloom there, looking for a while. We had 2 applicants. It became very clear to us that we needed to do something about that, and we did apply for a Child Care Aware grant, and we were able to receive it. Within that grant, we were able to get pay up considerably. And it went from 2 to, I think, 14 or 17 just in a matter of a week. So we have hired a camp director. The previous director, Julie Stevens, for like 20 years, is graciously helped us on the back end to train our new camp director, help us out a little bit. And so we did a lot of interviews. We hired, I think we have 14 on staff. We feel that's a good amount for what the registrations show right now. We could hire more. They're sitting there waiting. But we are in much better shape with summer camp than we were a month or 2 ago. USD reached out to Lane Norris, and they are providing the summer food program until July 1. I believe they cut that off at July 1. So then we reached out to St. John's Missionary, and they are providing a food program for the remainder of the 3 weeks. We go to July 22nd, I believe. So they're towards the end of July for a full 8-week program. So it's nice to have that back and full staffed and as much as we can, and looking forward to that. So, but I'll have, if you have any questions with summer camp, be glad to answer them.
Questions from anybody? Excited to have it back.
Yes.
Very good. Also under old business, recreation supervisor position.
Wanted to just have a conversation with the board about, we have had a recreation supervisor position open since 2000. Our previous recreation supervisor, who was responsible for recreation programming and senior programming and Camp Salina, he retired that year.
Since
And
2000 or?
In 2000, he retired in 2000.
2020.
Yes, correct. 2020, 2020. Sorry.
When COVID hit, there was several staff members that retired.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then he was one of them.
Okay.
Thank you for catching me on that. Yes, the year 2020, during the COVID year. And we made 2 attempts to open that position, recruit an individual. The first round, we did not identify anybody that could fill that role. Second round, we did that at the end of last year, and we identified some candidates. However, the range of pay that we currently were able to offer did not match what they were looking for, so we were not able to make an offer for that position. And just based on the economy for that position and the skills and abilities necessary, we are concerned going forward if we're going to be able to find a candidate for that position. The city has a pay study or pay plan study that should be released in the near future that could adjust some pay scale. However, I believe the duties of the position that we are looking for may not match our funding source. I didn't know what we proposed for the position would be responsible for senior recreation, so 50-plus programming, and therapeutic recreation programming. A little bit of rec programming in there, a little bit of special events in there. But I didn't know if you had any feedback for us regarding that role and those programs. In the meantime, Travis and I have done quite a bit of work, I believe, with minor success of trying to find resources within the community to offer some of these programs on our behalf, enter into some kind of partnership. So far, we haven't had a whole lot of success. We've made some contacts with OCCK for senior programs and the YMCA for therapeutic recreation. They call it adaptive recreation. But so far, they haven't reached back out to us. We've kept in touch. We've touched base. They seem to be, we want to be able to offer these programs. And it's just, I wanted to keep the board informed, and I wanted to receive any information or any feedback that you might have about that.
Comments or questions?
What's the pay range that you're trying to hire in?
Starting at 44, if I remember right, somewhere in there.
It's, yeah, approximately between in the 40s to the low 50s.
Like Jeff mentioned, some of those programs we are trying to find other organizations to help us with. I feel with special events, we've scrounged and used existing staff, just like the Easter egg hunt. You got Halloween, you got some of those big events that we really want to run. We're trying to keep those going. We've been able to do so with existing staff. Not everything, though. And then summer camp myself is doing, and then Brooke Ziegelmeyer, we're just using everybody and anybody to keep those big, important events or programs alive as much as we can. But without a recreation supervisor, it's very difficult.
I don't have a magic solution for you. Are there opportunities to, like with those partnerships, instead of like hiring someone, splitting some of that funding out to contract more or less for
I
sorts of things?
I was open-ended with our ask, that it's, depending on what they felt they needed, we would be open to the conversation, whether it be operating supplies, assisting with staffing,
Gotcha.
and assisting with resources.
Okay. I think that's a good direction, I guess, but.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments there? Hearing none, on to item 9. Any general announcements? When's the pool open?
May 28th,
Okay,
week from Saturday.
very good.
A couple of general announcements. The police memorial, the fallen police memorial was held this morning in Jerry Ivy Park. The park looked great. And it was a very nice event. And there is a video that was posted, I believe, from our city multimedia team, if you want to check it out, on YouTube. It was a really nice event this morning. Very close to probably 1st of June, entering into an agreement with a design and engineering consultant for Bill Burke Park to turf infields, add bathrooms, and do general improvements to the park, whether it be a backstop or dugouts. Looking forward to that. So
Is that all the fields at Bill Burke, or?
that's all eight fields for infields to be turfed.
Were you going to make other comments on the Sunset Park War Memorial sign?
Regarding the damage,
Yeah.
the only comments, unless Rick wants to add anything else, we did not find a culprit, so there's no insurance claim to ask for funds from or try to get funds from. There is a dedicated War Memorial Fund, which we could draw funds for to repair that or replace that. I made one contact, and I can't speak for what Rick has looked into yet. He might want to add if he has. I did make one contact as who would want to do the work. The one person declined to do that work. But it is a, concrete base with a concrete sign, and so we need to find a contractor who will give us quotes and move forward with that.
Okay. Anything else for the good of the cause?
Our leagues do begin Monday, the 23rd, so Bill Berkeley family, organized chaos, as we call it, which is a good thing, right?
That's good.
So those facilities would be pretty busy moving forward. And then we do have summer soccer coming up, so busy time of year.
Do you have enough umps?
As I mentioned before, we're a little bit better than we were before last year. We could still use some. We reached out to a lot of the Kansas Westland, Salina South, Salina Central, Sacred Heart, whoever. We did go to their practices and try to recruit the young ones, and it's worked some. So we're seeing some young faces, which is good. So.
Have you thought about lowering the age limit?
Right now it's 16, and it's due to child labor law.
Okay.
So we have hired, with HR approval, some 15-year-olds, but you have to really monitor their work hours, because in the summer, it changes to 9 p.m., which is better than the school year of 7. So we have to manage that.
Very good. If there's nothing else, take a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
A second. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thanks for joining us.